Are you looking for the best DSLR camera for documentary? In this video we will look at some of the best DSLR camera for documentary on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Canon 5D Mark IV. The EOS 5D Mark IV camera builds on the powerful legacy of the 5D series, offering amazing refinements in image quality, performance, and versatility. Canon's commitment to imaging excellence is the soul of the EOS 5D Mark IV. Wedding and portrait photographers, nature and landscape shooters, as well as creative videographers will appreciate the brilliance and power that the EOS 5D Mark IV delivers. I had always been impressed by the Art Institute of Chicago. Its stunning collection of art and artifacts has captivated my imagination since childhood. As an adult, I developed a deep appreciation for the artistic expressions of various cultures and wanted to create a documentary on the Art Institute of Chicago. However, I realized I would need a high-quality camera to capture the essence of the museum and its exhibits. After some research, I concluded that the Canon 5D Mark IV was my best choice. One of the best DSLR cameras for a documentary that offers high ISO performance. I constantly use the factory defaults with an ISO sensitivity range of roughly 100 to 32,000. Furthermore, expanded options from ISO 50 to 100 and 2400 are available. I captured every texture because of the camera's 30.4 megapixel comprehensive sensor, quick focusing technology, and high ISO tolerance. I always set the shutter to 30 or 1/8 of a second in steps of half or third stops. The camera's high ISO performance was impressive, allowing me to capture stunning footage in low-light conditions. Aperture/field of view. I always utilize the approximate f/8 maximum aperture. It has a high-density ventral AF2 system with 61 points, 41 crosses, and an extended vertical AF region that supports EV3. I have about 170 degrees of horizontal and vertical vision because of it. I had more freedom to capture photos from various perspectives and viewpoints because they were compatible with multiple lenses. White balance/frame rated enables DCI 4K, 4096 by 2160, recording at up to 30 frames per second at 500 megabits per second. I chose the white balance setting to capture the surroundings colors accurately. The automated white balance point on a camera senses its environment and adjusts the white balance automatically. This camera also allowed me to experiment with different lenses, giving me the flexibility to capture wide-angle shots of the museum's grand halls and intricate details of the artwork. Why is this camera the best? The camera's 30.4 megapixel sensor, 4K video recording capabilities, and superior image quality made it the perfect tool for my documentary. As soon as I began shooting, I was blown away by the camera's performance. The autofocus was fast and accurate, and the camera's image stabilization was superb, even when I was shooting handheld. Conclusion: using this camera for my documentary on the Art Institute of Chicago was a wonderful experience. The camera exceeded my expectations in every way, and the footage I captured was stunning. I am grateful for the opportunity to have used this incredible piece of technology, and I look forward to using it for many more projects in the future. I captured every nuance of the museum's architecture and artwork, making my documentary a masterpiece. At number 2. Canon 90D. I have always been passionate about history, and I love to learn about the events that have shaped the world we live in today. As a filmmaker, I had always wanted to create documentaries about historical events, but I had never found the right equipment to make it happen. That's when I discovered the Canon 90D, a high-quality camera perfect for my needs. I knew this camera would be perfect for capturing the historical events I wanted to document, so I immediately bought one. One of the best DSLRs for a documentary that offers intuitive controls features, continuously shooting quickly, attention tracking by ITR, maintain concentration on even moving items. APS-C CMOS sensor, 32.5 MP 45 AF points of the cross type with a multi-controller. Optical viewfinder, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. ISO/shutter speed. I usually have the ISO set at around 3200. Up to 1/16,000 second shutter speeds are supported with its electronic shutter. Of course, there is also a mechanical shutter with a maximum speed of 1/8000 second. Photographers have freedom and creative alternatives because of their compatibility with many lenses. I captured the subtle nuances of the events I was filming, adding depth and emotion to my documentaries. Aperture/field of view, it is always set to f/3.5 to f/22 wide, and f/5.6 to f/36 for me, tele. I was able to take pictures from any angle using the device's vari-angle touchscreen and Wi-Fi connection, 7.7 centimeters, 3.0, 3:2 Clearview 2 TFT, and I could share my pictures with my friends right away. The controls were intuitive, and the camera's autofocus system allowed me to capture the action without missing a beat. White balance/frame rate, I was particularly impressed by the camera's 32.5 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, 45-point all-cross AF system, and 10 frames per second continuous shooting. I used the white balance setting to capture the surroundings colors accurately. With the frame rate, I could capture moving objects immediately. The automated white balance point on a camera senses its surroundings and adjusts the white balance automatically. Why is this camera the best? I remember the day when I first held this camera in my hands. I felt a sense of excitement and anticipation as I knew this camera would allow me to capture the details and emotions of the events I wanted to document. As I began to use the camera, I was amazed at its easy operation. Conclusion: this camera was perfect for capturing the historical events I wanted to document. Its high-quality features, ease of use, and versatility made it an invaluable asset in my filmmaking arsenal. I am truly grateful for this camera, and I know it will continue to serve me well in future documentary projects. At number 3. Nikon D850. I have always been interested in social issues, and capturing them through a camera lens has always fascinated me. I had been working on various documentaries for the past few years, but I always felt that my equipment was limiting the quality of my work. That's when I decided to invest in a Nikon D850. I had heard great things about this camera from fellow filmmakers and photographers. One of the best DSLR cameras for a documentary that offers exceptional image quality. I always use it between ISO 64 and ISO 25600. I took this camera with me to various locations for my documentary project, and it never disappointed me. The camera became an extension of my body, and I felt like I could capture anything I wanted with it. Image quality can be adjusted in exposure mode M to range between January 25 and 1/8000 seconds. Aperture/field of view, I use it with the maximum aperture set at f/5.6. It has 100% coverage and a 0.75x magnification optical viewfinder. The largest viewfinder made by Nikon is this. I knew this camera would help me capture the raw emotions and reality of the social issues I wanted to document. White balance/frame rate, I can shoot at a speed of 7 frames per second. I selected the white balance setting to faithfully capture the environment's colors. A camera's automated white balance point detects its surroundings and adjusts automatically. I would highly recommend this camera to anyone serious about documentary filmmaking. Why is this camera the best? This camera is known for its exceptional image quality, dynamic range, and low-light capabilities, which made it the perfect choice for my documentary project. The first time I used this camera, I was blown away by its performance. From the bustling streets of York to the serene countryside of Africa, this camera helped me document the reality of social issues honestly and captivatingly. Extreme resolution meets extreme speed. When Nikon introduced the D800 and D800E, it set a new benchmark for DSLR image quality and super high-resolution photography that approached medium format. Now, 5 years later, Nikon proudly introduces the next evolution in high-resolution DSLRs, a camera that allows photographers to capture fast action in 45.7 megapixels of brilliant resolution. With remarkable advancements across the board: sensor design, autofocus, dynamic range, sensitivity, speed light control, battery life, shutter and mirror drive mechanisms, silent photography in live view mode, focus shift capability and more. This is quite possibly the most impressive, well-rounded DSLR yet. GPS, GP1 GPS unit, GP1 a GPS unit. Operating environment temperature 32 to 104 degree Fahrenheit, 0 to 40 degrees Celsius humidity less than 85%, no condensation. At number 4. Nikon D780. From an early age, I was drawn to the stories of real people and how they had shaped history. My interest in biographies grew stronger as I grew older, and I began exploring the genre more deeply. Eventually, I decided that I wanted to try my hand at making a documentary on the lives of some of the most influential figures in history. To do this, I knew I needed a high-quality camera to capture every detail of my subjects' lives. After doing some research, I decided to purchase a Nikon D780. One of the best DSLR cameras for a documentary that offers a high ISO range. With a native range of ISO 100 to ISO 51200, it delivers an upgraded, wider ISO range for still shooting performance. It has a more sophisticated shutter mechanism with a 1/8000 second minimum shutter speed. Its high ISO range allowed me to shoot in low-light conditions without sacrificing image quality. Aperture/field of view: I always use an aperture of f/1.4 at the dark end and f/5.6 at the bright end. Its primary viewing mechanism is an all-glass optical pentaprism with a 100% viewing field and a 21mm eye point. Its 4K video capabilities allowed me to capture still images and video footage for my documentary. White balance/frame rated is a 24-megapixel DSLR that can capture uncropped 4K footage at 30 fps and 12 frames per second in live view. I chose the white balance setting to capture the surroundings colors accurately. The automated white balance point on a camera senses its environment and adjusts the white balance automatically. Why is this camera best? This camera is renowned for its ability to capture stunning, high-resolution images and its versatility in various lighting conditions. Its autofocus system was lightning fast, making it easy for me to capture shots of my subjects as they went about their daily lives. Conclusion: I was incredibly pleased with this camera and its role in helping me create my documentary. Its advanced features and intuitive controls made it easy for me to capture stunning images and video footage, while its rugged build quality ensured that it would stand up to the demands of long days of shooting. Thanks to this camera, I brought the lives of some of history's most influential figures to a wider audience, and I couldn't be happier with the results. At number 5. Canon 6D Mark II. I've always been sensitive to environmental issues and the need to create awareness around them. As a documentary filmmaker, I felt it was my responsibility to bring these issues to light and educate people on the impact of their actions on the environment. But the problem was that my old camera wasn't cutting it anymore. It lacked the necessary features and quality to create a professional documentary that would captivate and engage my audience. That's when I knew I needed to upgrade to a Canon 6D Mark II. One of the best DSLR cameras for a documentary that offers superior image quality. Features intelligent 26.2 megapixel viewfinder screen with a variable angle touchscreen, controls AF cross-type Bluetooth connections, CMOS dual pixel AF ISO/shutter speed. It may be enlarged to ISO 100 and 2400, though I often use it at a maximum shutter speed of around 40,000. I got the ability to experiment with different settings and techniques, which allowed me to take stunning and unique pictures. It has a focal plane shutter that is electrically operated. I can utilize it at shutter speeds of approximately 30 to 4000 seconds by stopping in 1/2 or 1/3 steps. Aperture/field of view: the aperture I often use is around f/9.3. With dual pixel innovation on its brand new 26MP sensor, it can maintain the same 45-point focus while shooting in real view. There are 98% of the viewable views available. I captured the beauty of nature and the devastating impact humans have on the environment with a level of clarity that I had never achieved before. White balance/frame rate: it offers quicker performance with a maximum frame rate of 60p when recording full HD video. Also available is 5-axis digital IS photo stabilization. To capture the colors of the environment faithfully, I selected the white balance option. I created a unique visual experience that kept my audience interested throughout the documentary by recording in low light, producing beautiful time-lapse, and even shooting in 4K. Why is this camera best? It offered superior image quality, excellent low-light performance, and advanced features that would make filming in challenging environments much more accessible. When I finally got my hands on the camera, I was blown away by the difference in quality. The images and videos were crystal clear and had incredible detail. It was like I saw the environment in a whole new way. Using the camera for my documentary was an incredible experience. Conclusion: it allowed me to create a documentary that truly captured the beauty and tragedy of the environment. I highly recommend this camera if you want to create a documentary on the environment. I could film in low light, capture stunning time-lapse, and even shoot in 4K, which allowed me to create an incredible visual experience that kept my audience engaged throughout the documentary. At number 6. Nikon D7500. From a young age, I would spend hours reading about the latest advancements and developments in these fields. As I grew older, my interest in science and technology only intensified, and I knew I wanted to share my passion with others through a documentary. However, I quickly realized that my smartphone camera wouldn't be sufficient to capture the quality footage I needed for the documentary. I needed a professional-grade camera that could handle the demands of filming in different environments and lighting conditions. That's when I decided to buy a Nikon D7500. It is one of the best DSLR cameras for a documentary that offers a wide dynamic range. Features no optically low-pass, anti-aliasing, filter 21MP APS-C CMOS sensor 3.20 tilting screen 4K video and high-speed photography XP5 image processor 20.9MP DX format sensor 4K UHD video capture ISO/shutter speed. I often use an ISO of around 100 to 51,200, but it may be expanded to 1,640,000. For shooting motion or with fast lenses in bright light, the fastest shutter speed of 1/8000s is recommended. Its high-resolution sensor and wide dynamic range allowed me to capture stunning footage in even the most challenging lighting conditions. Aperture/field of view: I always use it at 2.8 or so for the aperture kit lens. And its fast autofocus system ensured that I never missed a shot, no matter how fast-paced the action. Yet, it applies a 1.5x field of view cropping because it was taken from a 3840 by 2160 pixel region in the sensor's middle. White balance/frame rate: with a 2 frames per second increase over its predecessor, it can shoot an impressive 8 frames per second for over 100 JPEGs. To capture the colors of the environment faithfully, I selected the white balance option. A camera's automated white balance point detects its surroundings and adjusts automatically. Why is this camera best? Throughout the filming process, I was constantly amazed by the quality of the footage that I could capture with this camera. And when it came time to edit the footage, I was thrilled to see how sharp and vibrant the colors were, making my documentary come to life.